Well, this brings us to another town hall session on the topic defining the next business model in a networked era. In a globalized world with key focus on partnerships to enable scale, how do organizations build operating models that are effective? Roles that organizations and leaders play in leveraging the network effect, ensuring effective and seamless integration, and what are the challenges of working in such a distributed model at an organization level? Our speakers will attempt to answer some of these questions. Sharing this session is Sidhant Rastogi, Managing Partner in Zinnov. He comes with rich experience in engaging with Fortune 500 companies to execute and transform their engineering global innovation strategy. He's an expert in automotive and automation domains. Sidhant will be joined first by Gaelle Olivier, Deputy General Manager and Chief Operating Officer in SocGen. She has 25 years of experience in the financial services industry. And following that, he will be in discussion with Navneet Kapoor, Executive Vice President and Chief Technology and Information Officer. Navneet has been with Maersk since 2017 and became a member of the Executive Board of Directors at AP Moller Maersk in 2021. Since February 2020, he has held the position of CTIO. Over to you, Sidhant.
Hey, thank you, Justin. And thanks so much to NASSCOM for this opportunity. I'm really excited to be leading this discussion with Gaelle and Navneet. The topic today is of extreme importance for the entire GCC community. And over the next 30 minutes, we will discuss how GCCs are able to build global partnerships to support their organization's transformation programs. We will discuss practitioner insights into operating models required to successfully build and grow these partnerships. The economic shocks over the last few years, the accelerated technology innovation that we are witnessing, and new age competitors and changing geopolitical dynamics, and of course, the pandemic has made companies realize the need to expand their capabilities outside of the boundary of their own organizations. The change required is too fast and too furious. Effective models to partner with startups, academia, technology service providers is a source of real competitive advantage in this world. However, getting it right is not easy. The leaders here will help us get a view of the benefits and on the ways we need to engage to make these partnerships successful. So Gaelle, welcome to the panel, and maybe we can just start with the first simple question to you, right? When you started looking at external partnerships, what were the key reasons that you looked at them for? And in your mind, what are the key reasons that companies need to look outside the organizational boundaries to drive transformational agenda?
Thank you, Sidhant, and thank you to NASSCOM for the opportunity to share with you our experience. I will be speaking from my position as a Chief Operating Officer of Société Générale. Société Générale is one of the leading bank organizations worldwide, and we have, for the past 20 years, been using various ecosystems and models to develop ourselves. One of them is indeed our offshoring operations, with a large part of it being in India. And what is very important to me is to see and to share with you that this offshoring is not anymore just process outsourcing, it's also competency development, new talents development, and that's what we have been growing over the past years now. And so to your question, Sidhant, I think the environment is very different from what we experienced 20 or 50 years ago. We need to accept that change is the new normal. We live in an environment where there are changes everywhere. There is technology building new capabilities. There are clients developing new needs for solutions, and also new mindsets developing regarding how we can develop a more sustainable planet. All this together makes our environment very different versus what it was a few years, a few decades ago. And it makes ourselves a call for responsibility on how we can help to shape solutions for the future. And in shaping those solutions, we do not believe we can do it on our own. We believe that we need to do it together with others. You know, there is this saying about alone you can go faster, but together we can go further. And I think that's exactly what we are trying to build. We are trying to build partnerships, open our ecosystems, open our value chain so that we can take the best from the outside and develop a way to integrate it within our own culture, DNA, business model, so that we can be even stronger and serve our clients better.
Got it. Excellent. Gaelle, I'm really interested to understand what are some of the key partnership models that you have deployed? And more importantly, what has been the impact or outcome that you have witnessed from these partnerships?
Yes, so we have developed multiple partnerships from various angles. The easy part first is going on our core business model and trying to integrate some new startups, building blocks of our value chain. That's already one very important way to open our ecosystem. Another one is to partner with academia. So for instance, in India, we are partnering with the Indian Institute of Science and Technology in order to first identify the needs we have in terms of expertise and help the academia be relevant in building and developing those competencies for the world of today and the world of tomorrow. And for us, it's also about welcoming those expertise into our own organization and developing our own talents. And then there is wider partnership with, I would say, new types of industries or different industries where we see a value for the clients, for the customers, to build an integrated solution, a full-fledged solution to serve the needs of the customers. So we are really shifting from a world of thinking as a pyramid into our own ecosystem to building into a circle, a collective way of working together and integrating new practices. And maybe for me, it's an important opportunity to share that this can only be possible if we change our own culture and mindset to be much more open to differences and to diversities. That's the only way where we can be open-minded, where we can accept differences, accept changes, welcome them, integrate them, adopt them in a natural manner into how we work every day. So this ability to build partnership has to go with an ability for the culture to accept differences and to make differences live within the environment.
Got it. So Gaelle, I really liked how you mentioned going to become circular, and you mentioned the partnerships that you're doing with startups, academia. Could you give one example maybe from a startup world or the academic world in terms of the impact that you've had? You might have thought that you would achieve A, but maybe you went further, like you said. So if you could give just one example so that people can relate to the kind of work that you're actually doing.
Yes, so I mentioned the partnership we have with the Indian Institute of Science and Technology before that helped us a lot to develop competencies and in a win-win model in aligning better the needs of the professional world with the development curriculum within the academia. So that's one example. But if I take another example, I would mention the work we are doing with startups in being a catalyst for startups. We develop incubators where we bring our own expertise in-house at the service of startups in order to help them shape and develop their models, develop their own expertise, and identify business opportunities which are relevant to clients. And so this way of connecting together is both good from a business perspective, but actually it's very good from a culture perspective because it forces somehow our business people internally to be challenged by new ways of thinking, who can be more agile, they can develop faster, they can build solutions without budget. In a large organization like ours, people tend to think that when they don't have budget, they cannot do anything. Working with startups who do not have money makes a big change because you realize suddenly that there are many things that you can do even when you don't have money. And that's for me a very useful way to change or to adapt our culture also along the way. So that's two concrete examples just to illustrate that, yes, the opening of the ecosystem is extremely important.
I think the culture example is actually very poignant because not many people think about that. So thank you for sharing that, Gaelle. Now I'll come to the how part. Now that we've established that we need to do this, I'll get into some tactical questions, right? So now, if we have to implement these partnerships, what is the structure? What is the governance? What kind of metrics? How do you track this? How do you ensure that it is boxed in a way that corporate can see or appreciate the value?
Again, for me, the first thing as a leader in the organization is the culture. Is both a culture of openness, and that we can demonstrate every day. It's the way we interact with people who are different, the way we open our own agenda to non-conventional meetings, the way we we dedicate our time to different type of events or different type of meetings or different type of people, and that's in our hands. And if we can already lead by example and showing this, it helps the organization to recognize that, so that they can move differently. The second thing, and it's also very much relates to the culture, is learning to fail fast. That's very important. We need to be able to recognize that failing is okay, because it's the only way that our teams are going to take initiatives and try new things. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. We just need to adapt and we need to learn from it. There's one important, very often I mention to my teams, if you try something new with a small budget, a proof of concept, something, and if it doesn't work, at least you will learn from the fact that it doesn't work and it doesn't cost much. And if it works, then we can scale it up. And for me, that's a way to motivate them to go into trying new things. And there are so many things today that we can just try, learn, and if we fail, it's okay. We'll just get it over. It's like when you stumble, when you learn to walk and you stumble and you still continue walking, and it's okay. At the end, all of us, we can walk and we can run, and that's life.
Right. So Gaelle, all the things that you mentioned, right? For example, companies being around for decades and centuries sometimes, the change from the actual way of working to this new way of working that you are evangelizing must be very hard. Any quick one or two top points that people need to be aware of in terms of how do you manage, at least at a corporate top level, this kind of change?
It's interesting because for 15, 20 years ago, I thought it would be hard to change the organization and to make this change happen. For the past years, I have realized that actually, every time I discuss about change, I discuss about going into new initiatives, trying new things. When I share that directly with the teams, and I'm saying not my N-1, but I'm saying new graduates, middle managers, I see their eyes completely opening. They are motivated. They almost said to me, but is it okay if I try something? And I say, yeah, it's okay. Great. So I will try. So I think we have in our organization, and I think it's not specific to our organization, we have people who are extremely solid in their job. They see the world disrupted around them. They are proud of their job. They like what they are doing, and they see the disruption. And so they want to see how they can be actor, a player in this disruption. So if we open this to them and we tell them, hey, go for it, go outside and see how the world is and how you can make a difference, that's what they want to do. And if you open these doors, then the organization can start moving and it can move forward. And you ask me about, do you have indicators? Do you have KPIs? Personally, I don't think it's about KPIs. I think it's about culture. It's about how we make our organization move forward. How we make our organization understand that it's not anymore information which is power, but it's more the sharing of information which is a power. It's how we can move faster together, which is going to give the strengths and the solutions to our organizations. And so it's really more about letting the energy go and flow within the organization. And this, my experience, is our employees, that's what they want. They want to be active and they want to move forward. You know, it's this bicycle thing from Einstein. Life is like riding a bicycle. You must move forward if you want to keep your balance. And for me, that's what our employees, they see what is at stake. If they stay still, they want to move forward. And so it's really more for me about leadership, people, motivation, accepting the failures, and moving forward.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Gaelle. I know we're a bit out of time, but I'll try and squeeze in the last thing I wanted your inputs on. Where do you see this going? Where is the future of partnership? And you just top 1 or 2 points from your side.
I think we need to continue to be open-minded. There will be more and more partnerships developing. We will learn to work as a partnership in a trusted environment. But then you see my hat as a chief operating officer coming back. Trust, it comes slowly, but it goes very fast. So when we build a partnership, we need to make sure that we are connected in terms of culture. We understand what we are trying to build together, and we need to be aligned in what we want to achieve. And we need to make it in a secured manner so that the clients behind, they know that they have a solid solution. And in our world, banking world, it's very important. We are regulated because the way we do business is very important to our clients. So when we do a partnership, we need to make sure that we build it in a secure manner from a cybersecurity perspective, from a resilience perspective. When it's within your organization, it's easier to control what you are doing. When you do it with a partnership, you open many doors and many possibilities that you don't control anymore. And that's where the trust factor is extremely important, and the solidity of the partnership we are building is extremely important. So I believe in a world where it will be open-minded, it will be about building partnership in a trusted environment, solid ones, but agile manner, so that we can move forward together, because in the end, that's what our clients need and want to have as an environment.
Great. Perfect. Thank you so much, Gaelle. I think this has been a power-packed, rapid-fire, insightful session. I'm sure the audience will really appreciate it. And thank you so much for sharing your deep and practical insights on this area. Thank you so much, Gaelle.
Thank you for the opportunity, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Gaelle. Those were very interesting insights. The point that you mentioned about culture being the most important part of collaboration, and also change management being not just change management, but also, in fact, learning and developing the entire team internally. I think those 2 points are extremely important and something that most people do not think about when they look at overall collaboration. Thank you so much, Gaelle.